And welcome back to the YouTube edition of the Pure Steel Podcast. We were live earlier on Podbean. Had a kind of a bullshit session with the headlocker. He couldn't join us tonight. For this side, obviously, with our regular working jobs, him throwing steel around, and I'm a plumber, so some early mornings, and just gotta bear with us sometimes. But on the other line is our special guest, Emily Lazar, and I will add her to the stream right now.
Hello.
How are you doing, Emily?
Hey, how are you?
I am doing better now that we got you on.
Dude, that was such a shit show. Like, no offense, but that was the worst experience. I tried for like a half an hour to like figure that shit out. Like,
Well,
no joke.
I really do appreciate you being a trooper. That
I was like, why is this not working? Like, for real though, it was horrible. So anyway.
Yeah, I guess I'm so used to everybody using a mobile device that they're able to.
Well, I tried on the mobile device. I tried on both the mobile device and my laptop, and it didn't work on either one.
Well, you're entering my world of technology where nothing works for you. So
yeah, it was just really ridiculous. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, can we do this another way? Yeah. So sorry about that, man.
No, not a problem at all.
So what's going on?
Hey, same old. It's hot in Wisconsin right now, so it's.
Oh God,
it's been
hot everywhere right now.
Oh man, I was working in that's a remodel. And inside the house today was 97 degrees with no wind or nothing. And I'm a bigger guy too, so you know the heat kind of wears in on me a little bit more than skinnier people. But
oh Jesus, that sounds like a mess. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so, hey,
I was just in Miami, so and it was hot as fuck there. I mean, it was like hot, but it's also like you have the humidity, so it's like it's hot and then you're sticky. So and not in a good way, in like a bad way. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. It's not fun at all.
No, I'm not a fan of going down south just because of the humidity. I can't. This beard can't handle it, so it's just kind of those things.
Doesn't look like it would handle humidity very well.
No, I'm too fair skinned for that. I get burnt so easy. I literally walk around. My work van, I usually carry about 2 cans of was it SPF 100.
Yeah, I have that. I was like 150 down in Miami. I was like, okay, fuck this.
No, not a chance. Hey, I understand 100%.
Yeah, I go out without SPF. I burst into flames. It's a bad scene. Yeah.
So let's get down to it. I'm going to ask you the hard questions.
Sure.
What was life like as a musician during the pandemic?
It was no touring, you know. It was just a lot of writing, a lot of like trying to figure everything else out, you know. Okay, well, we have some time off, so what can we do to kind of get things together so that when we do come back, we come back strong, you know. And that's kind of how we looked at it. I mean, I did a lot of painting. I sold like 70 plus paintings. I wrote out the next outline for the next comic book that we're publishing. I made new costuming for the band. We redesigned the stage show. We wrote and recorded. We started dropping new singles. You know, we just kind of took it for all the behind the scenes stuff that usually it takes us a while to do and we're short on time to do, and kind of took our time with it. You know, I'm actually going back to Omaha on the 13th to like redo some of the costuming because we filmed a music video and I didn't like the way it was working for that. So I knew it wouldn't work live. So now I have to like go back and reconfigure some stuff with my designer. So, but you know, it was good for that. It gave us the time to actually sit down and like reconvene on like what we were doing. So for us, you know, look, it sucks. The pandemic sucks. Everything about it is horrible, but it did give us some time to actually kind of like think things through a little bit better.
Does it help you too? Like they come up with new material, like obviously you had a new single come out this past during the pandemic, This Love.
Yeah, we had 3 new singles drop. Well, the third one's dropping in like a week or 2. We had Wake the Dead and we had Kill This Love both drop during January and A couple months later, the Kill This Love dropped, March, I think. And we have another one dropping a couple weeks. And, I've been doing NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. They're a way of tokenizing art on the blockchain. And I've been doing those with like art and music animation and all this sort of fun stuff like that. I was the first female rock metal vocalist to mint and drop and sell an NFT, which is pretty cool. And, so I just kind of like I took it for, get creative, write new material, but also like look around at everything else that's going on that you haven't had a chance to really look around at because you've been so busy touring, and start doing other things. And I mean, that was kind of like a really great thing about having the time. You get the time to actually expand your creativity and your artistic ability, which is definitely like 100% awesome.
What about more about the comic book? I am actually a huge nerd. I do love comics. I am addicted to the show The Boys.
Oh yeah, I love that show. Great show.
Man, I'm on my second way through it right now, and I keep on seeing that Jensen Ackles was playing. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's going to be in season 3.
I know. I love Jensen Ackles.
I'm such a big
fan. I'm sure you are too. Like, everybody probably was, right? Like, I mean, when Supernatural ended, I literally cried. I was like, oh my God, I'm like crying at the ending of this. But yeah, Jensen's fucking awesome. He's a good singer too. Have you heard him sing with Corey Taylor?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, look up that YouTube, man. If nobody's heard that that's listening, like, you need to look that up. It's fucking dope. But yeah, I mean, we're based on a graphic novel. So the whole band is really not just a band. It's like an art project, and it's all based around a storyline and a graphic novel. We've published 4 books through Top Cow Image Comics. We have the graphic novel of all 4 books that is out right now. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere you can online. Target.com has it. Pick it up, read it, like, share it. Love it. It's really cool. It's very supernatural based. It's about reapers and death and second chances at life, and a big battle between the living and the dead. So it's a really cool book. And the next book is going to be even more dope. So I'm pretty stoked about it.
It's the first I'm hearing about. I'm gonna have to pick some of those up.
Yeah. That's what our whole project's based on. So
yeah.
Yeah, I played the character on stage. We all play the characters on stage. Our whole stage show is based around the storyline, so it's pretty epic.
Can you run through the characters so everybody knows?
Yeah, so September Mourning is the lead character, and she is a Reaper human hybrid. She was like born like a normal human, and then a Reaper came down to take her soul, but he fell in love with her and didn't want to like kill her outright, so he made her into this like hybrid sort of situation. And she can actually take souls, but she can give people second chances of life, put their souls into other people's bodies and give them second chances at life. And she keeps doing this and like trying to reward like good souls because, they're supposed to die too soon, and she doesn't want that to happen. So she starts extending their livelihood and their lives, and fucks with Fate. And Fate's the antagonist in the book. And Fate sends all of his Reapers after September to stop her from doing that, and starts a big war between the living and the dead. And, there's a couple of Reapers in there. There's Shadow, there's Stitch, there's Riven, there's Wraith, and those are the 4 main Reapers. And they play we play the characters on stage. There's Riven on stage, there's Shadow on stage, there's Stitch on stage, and there's myself, September Mourning, on stage. And then we have some really cool animated sort of scripted pieces that go alongside in between the songs and things like that tell the story. And so you get the whole gist of it like when you come see a live show. It's pretty cool.
What's your tour schedule look like coming up here?
We leave like end of August. We have 3 big festivals. We have Incarceration in Ohio, we have Rebel Rock in Florida, and we have Metal in the Mountains in West Virginia. And then we have 5 weeks of touring wrapped around that with different bands like Islander, Otherwise, Raw, a couple of other bands. So it'll be fun.
You guys coming to Wisconsin?
Maybe. I don't know the routing as of yet, but if you follow us on Bands in Town, you will be able to get all of our tour dates, and you can, do something really cool on there. You follow the band, you say, hey, I'm in Wisconsin. Let me know if they're going to come in 50 miles of the radius, and it alerts you when we do. So you can come check out the show.
Yeah, 50 miles is nothing. We get like no shows in La Crosse area. So like me and DQ are going to Knotfest down in Iowa this summer.
Yeah, sometimes you got to like take a road trip.
Hey, it's worth it, man. There's 3 bands I've always wanted to see live: Faith No More, Lamb of God, and Gojira. And all 3 of those bands are going to be at that Knotfest. I cannot be any more tickled pink about that. I am so pumped up.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Yeah, pretty stoked.
Have you ever toured? Who's the biggest band you toured with? And have you like learned anything from the road or?
Yeah, Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson. We did festivals with Five Finger, Slipknot. God, lots of different bands.
Have you met Corey firsthand?
Yeah, I met him in passing, like backstage, at a festival we both played. He's really cool. He's dope.
He seems like the most laid back guy on the planet.
Super, super chill. Super, super chill. Yeah, he's really cool. I know his side project's drummer, Roy, is a good friend of mine. So yeah, so he introduced us. Yeah, he's a really chill dude. Like everybody kind of at that level, like everybody kind of starts to know each other, and there's a lot of people that are super chill. So it's really nice to be around those guys. Good guys.
Are there like any other like? I'm a big music guy. I listen to everything from Sabaton to Mastodon to Powerwolf. Are there like any like guilty pleasure bands that you can like listen to? Like for me, it's Powerwolf. I'm not a big sci-fi guy, but listening to werewolves is probably one of my favorite things in the world.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I liked Coheed and Cambria, right, back in the day.
Oh, Welcome Home.
I grew up on Coheed, right? Like we all kind of grew up on Coheed. So like to me, that was kind of like a band that kind of like dictated, okay, I can do what I wanted to do, which was like this like trifecta of comics and band and live action and all this sort of stuff that I want to do. So like it gave me like that, motivation to kind of make what I wanted to do as a, multimedia sort of super project. So that's kind of like, I guess it's not really a guilty pleasure, but I really do love Coheed back in the day. I also love Dillinger Escape Plan. I also love
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, Dillinger is dope. Like I just listened to Ironworks. Like I was talking to my friend about this actually, Peter McCormick, who's like a Bitcoin maxi, but like he has a podcast as well. But he loves metal, and so we were talking, and I was like, yeah, just listen to like Ironworks the other day, and I forgot how good that fucking album was. Like, goddamn, like Black Bubblegum and like all this fucking like it's just such a good Milk Lizard, such a good album. Yeah, really good stuff.
So like I said, I'm a huge Mastodon fan. I love Dillinger, and I found out during the pandemic, there's nothing else to do. So I found out about this band called Killer Be Killed.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh my God, it's a side project for Troy Sanders, singer, Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Greg Preciado, what's his last name? I don't know how to pronounce it, but Greg's side project, yeah, for sure.
Oh my
God, he's dope.
All those guys. That's in my opinion, that's the biggest power trio, or not even trio, but like the biggest power group ever assembled. In my opinion, I love Troy Sanders. Is the most underrated musician around. In my opinion, the guy doesn't get enough credit for how talented he is.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, I mean, good stuff. I mean, those guys are like. So, I mean, there's a lot of metal guys that really like, they never got huge, but they're really talented dudes. I mean, I love the guys in Norma Jean. I thought Norma Jean was always such a great band, like the Anti-Mother, like, I mean, such a solid band. I kind of, they're another band that I really looked up to, like coming up, and so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of metal guys out there that are really tight players and really talented dudes.
Being a female artist did you have like a set list of like idols, like Nancy Wilson, obviously, and I guess I don't know how old you are, so I guess like as Lizzie Hale's amazing.
Yeah, Lizzie was great. Like, I mean, Lizzie's always been like up there, as like a front woman. That's really dope. And I mean, look, there's like. I had so many influences growing up. Like my mom was really into like Annie Lennox and stuff like that, like so she's not metal at all, but fucking Annie Lennox can write a song, right? So like, and Susie and the Banshees and like things like that, and so I got a lot of that, The Cure and all that sort of stuff. Like my mom was like really into that sort of stuff. So and a lot of 80s and 90s, like weird, like pop, like rock sort of stuff. So, there was a little bit of that going on. I always looked up to like any female that puts herself out there to like make it in rock, because it's always been such a male dominated industry. So it's nice to see that tide turning, and a lot of people, Taylor Momsen, like a lot of people really getting their just desserts and like coming to the forefront of rock and metal is really great to see. So I always loved seeing that growing up.
I remember watching the CMT Awards, which is obviously the Country Music Awards, which, country is what it is. But I remember watching Lizzie Hale on stage with Eric Church. And you would think that, being Eric Church is a big household name in country, but Lizzie Hale blew his ass off the stage. And I back rock music like no other. And so if you compare them, you see Lizzie Hale, one of the most powerful voices in, rock and roll period, male or female. She literally blew the doors off the stage. It was incredible.
You got her.
If you haven't seen it, you should look that up. Like Eric Church and Lizzie Hale. It was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, she's super powerful. Amy Lee is another one from Evanescence that I always looked up to. Like Amy had that operatic sort of voice, which was a little bit different from Lizzie's like hard rock sort of growly voice, but like still super powerful in her own right. So I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of girls that can wail. So it's great.
Hey, you can get after too, though. You are "Kill This Love" is a great song. I listened to a handful of them. You could really wail too with the best of them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Your whole show setup. I remember going to see In This Moment. Wow, when the hell was that? It was the Korn Disturbed tour, and I'd never even heard of In This Moment. And I remember seeing Maria Brink firsthand and how powerful she was, and she commanded the stage, and she came down within the people, and she was amazing. So I bet you're the same way. I bet you steal a show.
Yeah, I mean, I do my best to be the best front person that I can be, So yeah, that's the goal. That's the job, So for sure.
How much did you miss the touring then during the pandemic? Is that like?
Yeah, a lot.
I bet that's got to be really. I bet in your guys' shoes, every musician or artist, period, comedian, it's got to be the most daunting thing ever.
Well, it's also like you have to remember that for some of us, and myself included in this, like, I mean, for some of us, like performing it isn't just like a job and like what we do. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like a way of life, and it also kind of is like therapy, I mean, I'd go out every night, scream into a microphone, and like, that was therapeutic in a way. Like these songs are therapeutic for me. Being amongst people like that, therapeutic for me. I mean, it's therapeutic in a way. It's really weird to say that, but it's so fucking true. And I know a lot of my friends who front bands will say the same thing. And so like you go a year without therapy, you're kind of like, huh, like, So, I mean, a lot of us had a hard time because we're used to putting those emotions through different, like ways of like positivity instead of negativity. And so, you had to kind of watch that in a pandemic because you're isolated, you're alone, mental health, like the awareness of that in a pandemic was like a big thing. So, yeah.
Like, how much gaming did you do during the pandemic? Obviously, you got to have some sort of. I didn't really get into Warzone lately.
I was like all up on like I finished like the new Spider-Man first, and then I went into like Assassin's Creed and like redid like 5 or 6 of those games, and then Valhalla came out, so I was on that boat, like Cyberpunk, like. I mean, I was all up in that, in my PS4. I didn't get the PS5, but I just sat on my PS4 a lot and like played a lot of video games for a while. And then I just kind of like started painting, and then I started selling all these paintings, and then that became a thing. And then I got into NFTs, and that became a thing. And I was writing all the time. And, I just tried to keep like as productive and like as artistic as I could, because I really needed like that outlet. And so if I couldn't have it on stage, how else was I going to have it? And that's kind of what I did with it.
You play Warzone at all?
I am so bad at first-person shooter games. You should ask my friend in Hawaii. I used to play like Battlefront with my friend in Hawaii, and he's like in the army. He's like, "Don't worry, I got your back." He's like, "Just hide behind this thing, and when I tell you to come out, like." And every time I'd come out, somebody would shoot me in the back of the head. So I was like, "This is fucking bogus." Like I can't even get like anywhere in this fucking game. And I was trying so hard. I'm just so bad at first-person shooter, just so bad. But you put me in like, you know, Assassin's Creed or Spider-Man, and I'm like fucking wailing on bitches. But like anywhere else, not so much in Warzone. Nope, not a thing.
You get into Fallout then?
What's up?
You get into the game Fallout?
I didn't get into Fallout, not so much. I'm not really into like the war video games. Like that's like not my jam. Like I like the, you know, I kind of like the RPG sort of like, you know, games that like have a storyline and have like, you know, these big worlds and things like that. Pretty much.
I think Fallout will be right up your alley then, because that
really
is you can literally get lost in that game.
I love it. I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, Fallout 4, I think, is besides creating this podcast, is probably one of the two things that saved my life during the pandemic. Because Fallout, you can literally just get lost. Even the Elder Scrolls series, it's the same creator.
Oh, Elder Scrolls was fucking dope. I remember playing that years ago. That was fucking dope. Yeah.
Yeah, but Bethesda also creates the game Fallout, so you get the long storylines and the big purposes, and obviously you're altering timelines. It's fantastic. Right. I love it.
Okay, cool. I'll check it.
So growing up, obviously, what all did you see as like what concerts did you go to as a kid, and like what kind of blew your mind when you were younger?
Like my first real concert was Dillinger Escape Plan, so like that blew my mind. Like I mean, having Ben was like hanging upside down from a pipe or some shit. Like it was like, and Greg was like running on people's heads. It was just like hi, like what? I was like, what is this? I want to do this. Like I saw, My Chemical Romance was like, I loved My Chem. I was kind of like a little emo girl for a minute. I think we all were. Glassjaw, I loved Glassjaw too. I loved I don't know. There's so many bands. It's so funny. It's like when you ask that question, it's just like I have to go through like a list of all of them in my head.
Well, I told you I was going to ask the hard questions.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. It's just like name any Warped Tour band. I'm sure I saw it. So in the 2000s, I was there. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like, good times.
Are there like any bands now that you kind of follow? They may not be even like big or not. Like, are there any like bands now that you're like, when these guys break, they're gonna break open big? Like you guys, I think once more people hear September Mourning, you guys are gonna have a huge breakthrough. And I also personally think the band Lord of the Lost is gonna be one of those bands just like that. I think Chris Harms is probably one of the best voices in metal that nobody's heard.
I love that. You know what? Like, I haven't been listening to new bands recently. I've been listening to a lot of different types of music, but not so much rock. So I've been I think it's probably because I've been writing. So usually when I'm writing rock, I don't listen to rock. So like I try to listen to other things. So I don't really have any on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, but like for me, I've just been geeking out because Powerwolf has their new songs out, and then obviously Lord of the Lost just released for those. They just dropped it this week, so I got to look it up again. I don't have it down.
Nice.
But I just downloaded it, so it's gonna be right up. For they not know what they're. I can't read either. For they know not what they know.
Yeah.
It's German band, incredible. They're actually doing a collab. Lord of the Lost and Powerwolf's actually doing a collab.
That's dope. That's going to be amazing.
Powerwolf's next new album. Sorry, I can't talk now either.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's getting late.
Yeah. So, what else is on tap for you coming up here?
I mean, besides the touring, the new songs, new book, new costuming, new stage show. I mean, everything's new. So yeah, we got a lot new NFTs dropping. So there's a lot going on in September Morning right now. Really excited to get going again with it. So just excitement, lots of excitement.
Where can everybody get your NFTs at?
If you go on OpenSea, the link is in my bio on my IG, which is Emily Lazar _SM, or you can go to the IG of September Morning, which is just at September Morning. And you can find link in the link trees on both of those link trees for the NFTs. But they are on OpenSea, and I might drop some on Foundation. So if you're familiar with either one of those platforms, you can go there. If you have a MetaMask wallet, takes ETH, like that's how we do this thing. So yeah, do it up.
And as you can see in the corner, DQ is also asking Wisconsin dates with a bunch of question marks.
Wisconsin dates. Yeah, man. Like go on Bands in Town, right? Sign up for Bands in Town. Just like follow us on there, like set up the alert. And the minute that we announce, you will know. I don't have the schedule in front of me, so I don't know the exact dates. But yeah, so hopefully it will be soon that we will be there. Be dope.
Have you guys been to Wisconsin before?
Yeah, we have. We have been to Wisconsin a couple times.
Where at?
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I don't like. I wish I could. I mean, if we were asking Rich, he'd probably name every date and every time and everything because he's like an encyclopedia of all of our tour dates. But I'd have to look through the dates. But yeah, we've been to Wisconsin a couple times. Great state. You guys are awesome.
Hey, good people.
Yeah, good people for sure.
Hey, great beer, awesome cheese curds, go Packers.
Dude, the cheese curds, like, I just remember that. Yeah, the cheese curds. They are at every gas station, like and Come and Go. You have like Come and Go over there, don't you?
Quick Trip.
Quick Trip. That's what it is. Quick Trip. Yeah. So, yeah, Quick Trip.
Quick Trip's great. Not every morning, but most mornings I usually stop there. It's a great way to start the day.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I guess that's all I really have for you, Emily. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I'm glad we made this work. Like,
yeah. I'm happy I got a backup plan for this show. Mainly, I've been trying to get the platform to YouTube just because it's so much easier and more people see it, and that's obviously the most important part about growing a show.
Yeah, for sure. No worries about doing it. Appreciate that we could come on and chat for a bit. And, if anyone wants to check out more of our stuff, you can go to septembermorning.com, and it's mourning.com, and you can see all of our links there. Spotify, we're on there as well. Apple Music, pretty much any streaming service, you can find us. And stream us to your heart's content. Let us know what you think. Please write to us on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that. Like, we definitely write back and appreciate the feedback. So, and we look forward to seeing you guys out on the road.
You better come to Wisconsin, otherwise DQ is going to be pissed.
Yeah, it looks like it.
All right, Emily. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too. Hey, great interview. I learned a lot. I got this screen here popping up on me. Go away. Hey, I win. So, yeah, the first part of Pure Steel Podcast Night will be found on Podbean. And I'm going to get that out. You'll be able to pick that up on Spotify and iTunes and wherever else you get your shows. This portion will just be for YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching, but I guess I could show you guys I picked up more Bill Murray stickers. Got the whole lineup. Got a clown and some other shit. So like I said before, hey, if you guys have stickers and you guys own a business and you guys want your sticker on this table, hit me up. We'll get you on. I think I have one coming from George the Plumber, who I've known a long time from Plumbing Hacks Professionals. If you guys want to learn something about how to do stuff in the trades, definitely worth a follow. At George the Plumber, George DeJesus. I actually want to get him on the show too, because if I can learn something out of it, hey, it's a freaking benefit for the both of us. And yeah, earlier And if you just watch this one on the Podbean, we talk about a bunch of stuff. We hit on obviously the upcoming concerts coming. Knotfest is coming, headlined by obviously Slipknot, Faith No More, Megadeth. It goes your Lamb of God, Suicide Boys, Tech Nine, Trivium. I think I got most of them. I'm not quite sure, but I ain't perfect. And obviously, if you're watching this, you're probably not that perfect either. Yeah, so I ain't gotten anything else for tonight. I'm kind of burnt out of talking. Thanks for hanging in there, being troopers with us. And I guess we will talk to you next week. We have Matt Ramage of the Matt Ramage Show coming on. He is a Wisconsin sports advocate, I guess you can call him. The guy is hilarious. If you guys he may have seen him. He has like crazy eyes. He always picks on himself. So Matt Ramage next week. And then I'm gonna try to do 2 next week, even if I have to. I'm pretty sure I'm doing Matt Ramage on my own because obviously Austin being I'm not sure if he's even a sports team anymore, but he's a Vikings fan. So yeah, hey, thanks for listening. This is the Pure Steel podcast, and this show is Pure Steel and Sex Appeal. Thank you very much for listening.